Top 5 dream offensive weapons for CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans. He and they need them. Let's dream. Who now?
Yeah. Yeah. It's the Locker Room on YouTube. You know what it is. Let's get it. Hey, Locker Room. Yeah, we in the locker room. Texas Talk. Yeah, you know what we about to do.
More weapons for CJ Stroud. It's got to happen. It's not a if, it's a when, it's a how, it's a who. It is the Locker Room, number one source for Texans daily digital content. I'm Landry Locker. You can hear me 10 to 2 Central, Sports Radio 610, and the Odyssey app. You can see me and hear me in Vegas on Sports Radio 610's YouTube and Twitch, 10 to 2 Central. All this week leading up to the big game, which is where the Texans want to get. If they're going to get there, though, they're going to need more offensive weapons. I'm going to talk about the 5 dream weapons through my eyes. I'm not going to worry about the defense. D'Amico can handle that. He can handle the defense. He can coach them up. He's got some guys with some upside on that side of the rock, including Will Anderson and Christian Harris. He can figure that out. I'm going to focus on the offense. 5 dream weapons for CJ Stroud, Nick Caserio, D'Amico Ryans, as the season or off season continues and free agency begins. And for me, a theme that you're going to hear from me this off season is running back. They need to invest, take the running back position serious. There's an opportunity. The market is perfect this year. You could add one. You could bring back Singletary. You could get it. You could draft one. It's perfect. And we're seeing that right now with Christian McCaffrey. If the 49ers don't make that trade, second, third, fourth, fifth, and then bring in that money, they're not where they are right now. And they don't get a game away from it last year. That's something the Texans need to do. Bobby Slowick and D'Amico Ryans were there when that trade was made. They know the impact it can have. They talk about running back committees. They want to run the ball better. They know that the running back position has to be better. You can't have Devin Singletary being a guy you brought in as a complimentary guy. You can't have him being your only guy that can effectively function in the offense. That just cannot, will not, should not happen. And I expect them to figure out that and address that position. That's not where we're starting, though. We're starting at number 5. Mike Evans or Gabe Davis at the right price. I love what Nico Collins has done. I love what Tank Dell has done. Mike Evans on a 2-year deal in the $20 million range, sign me up for it. I would take it. I would have no issue with that. If you're going 4 years, I know that he's been ageless. I know that he has double-digit straight 1,000-yard seasons, but no thank you on that. Gabe Davis, I can go 4 years. 25 years old, damn near 30 touchdowns the last 4 years, battle-tested, unrealized potential, seems to be a little bit awkward up there in Buffalo with Diggs, with McDermott, all of that. If Gabe Davis wants to come back down south and he's from Florida and be a part of this Texans offense where you're getting a guy who has 17 yards per catch, who's battle-tested, who can be kind of a veteran with high upside, sign me up for it. I do wonder if someone's going to pay him like Christian Kirk, though, to be their number one. Who knows? But at the right price, Mike Evans, 2-year deal, Gabe Davis 4, sign me up for that. Although I will say this, and I think this kind of goes to the mindset that teams had with tight ends last year. Dalton Schultz was extra cheap because people looked at the draft and said, damn, we can get a tight end in the draft. We don't need to pay a tight end. Could be the same with the receivers, especially where the Texans are drafting. It seems like a money pit. Hell, even in day 2, there's a lot of big names at the wide receiver position, big opportunities. So maybe neither one of these guys would make sense, but at the right price, sign me up for that. Number 4, we're going to the running backs. Derrick Henry, Seth Payne, who was on the air before me on Sports Radio 610 from 6 to 10 Central. He's kind of talked me into this. I hear a lot of people, and it seems like a lot of fake hustle, people talking about, system fit and stuff like that. Come on, Johnny. Like there's Johnny's, Timmy's, Billy's talking about system fit. I don't want to have a mystery straw man, but I feel like I was hearing all last year that Dameon Pierce was going to be a system fit in this offense. I think Derrick Henry can fit anywhere. Seth has talked me into this. We saw what he did with Arthur Smith, which was kind of zone blocking as well. Sign me up for Derrick Henry at the right price. Hell, and then bring back Devin Singletary too and make him the complimentary back he was supposed to be last year and draft someone else. Need multiple backs that can do multiple things. Derrick Henry, by the way, second in the league in rushing last year. Josh Jacobs, number 3. We're sticking with that running back. Can run the ball, can catch the ball, can do a lot of things. I got a feeling that they're going to like him a lot. They being D'Amico Ryan's fellow Alabama guy, Bobby Slowick, and Nick Caserio. Keep an eye on Josh Jacobs. I think Josh Jacobs is perhaps the most complete, might be the most expensive outside of someone we'll hear from in a sec. But Josh Jacobs at running back, not a good year last year, probably won you your fantasy league 2 years ago if you had him. No, Josh Jacobs, number 3. Number 2, let's go to the draft, Brock Bowers. Positional value, you hear it all the time. There's talk Brock Bowers is going to go in the top 10. If he goes in the top 10, forget it. Now, if positional value catches up to him, and this is a position where only 19 tight ends have been taken in the first round, the last 20 drafts. If Brock Bowers falls to the 15, 20 range or something like that, we're talking about a tight end who can catch, he can block, he can do everything. Look at the tight end matchup this Sunday, 4 days from now. Travis Kelce, George Kittle. Look at the other side of the bracket, the NFC. You had George Kittle versus Sam Laporta. Tight ends are important. Last year was a big chance. Texans traded away their second-round pick, though. Thought maybe that would be kind of a money range for a tight end. Ended up being, because that's where Laporta got picked. You're going to need a tight end. Even if you bring back Schultz, you got to block better at that position more consistently, especially if you want to run the rock, and especially if the offensive line isn't going to be able to do what you want them to do on a consistent basis. And number 1, Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley, the naysayers of Saquon Barkley sound exactly like the naysayers of Christian McCaffrey when the 49ers traded for him. Second, third, fourth, fifth round pick for Christian McCaffrey. The 49ers make the trade. They go to the NFC Championship game. This year, they're in the Super Bowl. He's one of the favorites to be MVP. They're not in this game. They're not one game away from being in this game without that trade. D'Amico Ryans, the head coach of the Texans, Bobby Slowick, the offensive coordinator, they're both in San Francisco when this trade was made. They know what the deal is. Saquon Barkley, like Christian McCaffrey, has never had a high ceiling as a player. He's never played with a really good quarterback. He's really never played with a really awesome coach either. Saquon Barkley could have a complete different level of intensity when he comes to the Texans. And if he stays healthy, that's an if. It was an if with McCaffrey too. It could be a big thing in the pass game. It could be a big thing in the run game. It'd just be massive. Even if he got the Jonathan Taylor contract last year, you can say that's expensive. But when you look at the positions that the Texans have guys on rookie deals on, those are the more expensive. You can overpay Saquon Barkley. It reminds me a lot of that 49er situation. Now, will he even hit the market? That's another issue on itself. Apparently, his representatives are going to meet with the Giants at the scouting combine, so we could get some clarity there. They try to franchise tag him again? Do they try to sign him? If he hits the market, there could be a battle between the Chargers and the Texans, because there's the teams that already have quarterbacks and want to crank it up a notch and maybe get a high impact player at a bargain. They're going to be in on Saquon Barkley. Texans should be one of those squads. Bobby Slowick, D'Amico Ryans, they know all too well the impact that type of all-purpose back can have. Who do you think the top 5 targets should be for the Houston Texans on the offensive side of the rock? Why does my list suck? Why is my list good? Interact. Let me know. That's what we're here for. We're all in it together when it comes to this Texan stuff. Thanks for coming through. Keep listening on Sports Radio 610 and the Odyssey app.
Go on YouTube. You know what it is. Let's get it. Locker room. Yeah, we in the locker room. Texas talk. Yeah, you know what we about to do. Localize every angle is what we really do. We the source. We the